Subscribe.
The hospital hallways stretched cold and sterile under the harsh fluorescent lights. It was midnight. The usual bustle of daytime had faded, leaving an unsettling quiet. The only sound was the rhythmic beep of machines, a constant reminder of life and death intertwined. Shadows stretched from the corners, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. The air hung heavy, thick with the antiseptic smell of disinfectant, and the lingering fear that always seemed to permeate a hospital at night. David, a young medical student, sat alone in the deserted cafeteria. He was on his third night shift in a row, his eyes heavy with fatigue. He picked at his lukewarm coffee, the silence around him almost deafening. He glanced at his watch, the luminous hands mocking his exhaustion. A flicker of movement in the window caught his eye. He tried to shake off the unease creeping up his spine. It was just his imagination, playing tricks on him. He went back to his sandwich, but his appetite was gone. He decided to get a drink, hoping to wash down the unsettling feeling. As he made his way down the deserted hallway, a loud bang echoed from upstairs. It sounded like a crash, followed by the distinct sound of running footsteps. David froze, his blood turning to ice. He strained to listen, but the silence returned, heavy and absolute. He slowly climbed the stairs, each step filled with dread. He checked every room, his heart pounding in his chest. The rooms were empty, the beds neatly made. It was as if the noise had never happened. He told himself it was probably just a cart that had rolled away, but the fear remained, a knot of tension in his gut. Suddenly, the lights in the surgery room down the hall flickered and died, plunging the corridor into darkness. The hairs on the back of David's neck stood on end. Then, he heard it, the distinct click of a door closing. Slowly, he moved towards the sound, his breath catching in his throat. As he reached the operating room, the door swung open, revealing an impenetrable blackness. And then he saw it, a tall, shadowy figure, its eyes burning like hot coals in the darkness. David gasped, his back hitting the wall. He turned to run, but it was too late. He felt a searing pain in his ankles, a vice-like grip dragging him towards the darkness. He screamed, kicking and struggling, and for a moment he broke free. But the entity was relentless. It grabbed him again, this time by the neck, its touch cold and sharp as ice. The next morning, a nurse found David's body sprawled in the hallway, his eyes wide with terror. Burn marks marred his neck and ankles, the skin blackened and blistered. There were no cameras on that floor, no witnesses to the horrors that had unfolded. The police ruled it a tragic accident, but whispers of the entity, the shadow with burning eyes, lingered in the hospital halls, a chilling reminder that some things are best left unexplained.